My dad really helped create this. I'm not giving him credit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he was a great dad, like clap my hands for his ass. He helped create this because he was just that, he was a devil. You know, he was a guy that had to be very insecure, very beat down. Something had to happen to him when he was younger, because the way he treated me, my brother, my mom was just horrible. So he would beat us, my mom, my brother, me. And I'm not talking about like, oh, you got in trouble, so let me give you a whipping. So I'm about 7, 8 years old, and I hear some ruckus outside my room as I'm getting ready to bed down for the night. And my mom and dad are outside my room because there's a staircase right there. And my dad is smacking the hell out of my mom and knocks her almost unconscious, where she's kind of out of it, you know, she's kind of loopy. She falls down, he grabs her by her hair and drags her down the stairs by her hair. And so at this age, I'm sitting thinking, man, you know, what the fuck should I do, man? Like, you know, I'm scared, but then something in me saying, you gotta go and do something. I'm scared to death of this guy because he's been beating the shit out of me since I can remember. And I mean like laying me out for nothing. So I go on the stairs and I jump on his back, and literally he tells my mom, you're raising a gangster, as she's like on the floor. And he's almost smiling, almost like proud, but that smile went to a frown pretty quick, and he beat the living hell out of me. And he beat me literally from my neck down to my ankles, like black and blue. When I laid in the bed and looked at my mom, she pulled the covers back, I'll never forget looking at her face. And her face is tattooed in my brain. And why I say that, this past year, I got the VFW award for Americanism Award. And if you Google David Goggins VFW Award, I'm in front of 5,000 veterans. And I'm getting this amazing award. John McCain got it. And I'm up here thinking, man, I'm up here getting this award. This is amazing. It's for giving back and also having a great military career. And I could give this 6-minute long speech. And I'm up there, man, I'm talking, and I'm thanking people who helped me out. And I get to my mom, she's sitting back, you know, she's sitting right here on stage, but behind me. And I haven't cried in 30 years. And I turn around and say, and I want to thank my mom for not picking me up when I was knocked down, but teaching me how to get up. Because she never picked me up ever. And because her circumstances sucked. So anyway, I look back and I said that, and when I got done, I didn't even get a chance to say it. I looked at her eyes, and my head went right back to her face when she saw me bruised up. And that fucked me up. And for 58 seconds, look at the video and you'll see me, my head's down and I'm sobbing. And I'm in front of 5,000 vets, and the guy who was hosting the thing had to come up to me and like put his hand on my back. And I was just destroyed, overcome with emotion. And then 58 seconds go by and I get up and I deliver this speech. And so I tell you that because my life tattooed me. And so when I came from Buffalo, I was 8 years old. I didn't have one learning disability, I had several. But I hid all this shit. I never talked about my dad being crazy, or I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I got held back in my second grade. In my elementary years, I stuttered so bad, I had these white splotches all over my skin. I had patches of hair falling out of my head. I was so stressed out from my childhood, and then now I'm in this situation where I'm like, God, man, I'm dumb. I'm like this black kid amongst all these white people, and it just made me feel just fucked up. And my mom was working 3 jobs. We lived in a $7 a month place. She was never home, and I was like, but I didn't want to put my troubles on my mom. We're about to go out for, so Christmas break's about to happen. And so here we are, we had elementary to junior high that rode our bus. And we pull up in front of the junior high school, and the bus lets out, but not yet. This kid who missed the bus, he missed the bus because he had some cookies for the bus driver. He goes over, and I tell a story because this story, it fucked me up so bad. And this kid, mom brought him to school, and I see them pull up. I'm in the back of the bus, and I'm in the very back, right by the back wheel, facing the parking lot. The parking lot is probably 20 feet wide. And 15 buses are lined up, and we all open the bus doors at the same time we all get out. So the kid, I see him, The mom yells over, you forgot something. He obviously forgot the cookies. He goes back, gets the cookies. I look forward, the bus moves forward maybe this much. Next thing I know, I'm hearing this lady screaming, top of her lungs, pulling like at her hair, this yanking at her hair, this screaming bloody murder. And I'm looking over at the same lady that called her little boy, and I'm like, what the hell? And she's looking down under my tire. And so I see these things on my window, and I don't know what they were, but they were like little splots. So you know how the old bus school, the buses have little things you push in, you pull the window down. I push them in, I look down, I'm looking at her, and her face, her eyes are looking right down underneath my tire. And I'm like, what the hell is she looking at? So I look down, and this kid's head was this flat, and his eyes were bugged out of his head. And I tell you that story because a year, almost exactly a year later, the same exact time frame, the day after Christmas, my my soon-to-be stepdad got murdered. So that, I tried to bury that, and now my 8th grade year, he gets murdered. And so what happens, I had to bring you back here to set the tone for what happened. Now I'm in 7th grade, and I see this little kid's shoes like this big. He was an elementary kid, just twisted in. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then literally a year later, the day after Christmas, a year later, my soon-to-be stepdad gets murdered. And I tell you that because I slept on my floor for probably, I don't know, 4 months to 6 months. I was afraid to sleep in my bed for some reason. Don't know why. Some psychological fucking but I'm painting this picture for you to let you know where I was at. So one time in my Spanish class, we had all of our notebooks that stayed in the class. So, and obviously your name's on it.
Yeah.
You go get your notebook for a class. And I always sat back in the back of every class, man, because I just want to be, just don't look at me, don't call on me.
Yep.
I don't know shit. I opened my notebook up to the first page, and on it was a noose, like a little hangman noose, with me hanging from it with the same thing, nigga, we're gonna kill you. My mom didn't know how bad my grades were. She never saw one report card. I hit everything from, and she didn't even ask. She was so bogged down with life. And so I got away with a lot of shit because her mind was occupied. So it made me, honestly, a weaker person. So I scammed life. My mom helped me scam life for a while. But this time I couldn't scam life. I went the second time, took the ASVAB test, failed it again. And a week later, she got a letter in the mail from my high school. And I'm a junior in high school, and the letter says pretty much your son's gonna flunk out. He's missed 25% of school. I was exposed once again. My mom goes, well, she read the letter to me, she put my bed, and her best advice was, guess what? You're gonna flunk out of school. That was it, in the conversation. So I look in the fucking mirror, I see this letter, I'm fucked up, and I'm like, you know what, man, no one's coming to help me. So I started talking to myself this way in this mirror, because when nobody coming back to fucking help David Goggins, that was my mindset now. I have to change, because I can't stay here. I can't, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was defeated. I go, look at myself. I'm like, who am I? So I'm defeated in this mirror and I'm like, okay, I'm changing. I said, Mom, can we please get a tutor? So we can only afford $15 a week for a tutor. So I have 4 hours a month. Okay. 4 hours a month. I had a 4th grade reading level, man. Wow. 4 hours a month for 6 months. That's all I had. So this tutor did one thing for me, but basically she saw that I was slow, very slow, and couldn't retain shit. And I think she was joking. She goes, you're gonna have to write down everything 1,000 times for you to remember this. I took it as okay. So I literally went to the store and I bought these spiral notebooks. And I started literally writing down, let's say it's a math equation, the same fucking math equation over and over and over and over again. When it came to a paragraph comprehension, I couldn't read the fucking paragraph and then remember it. So we had like, I think 25 or 30 paragraph comprehension things. I had to write down the whole fucking thing, like a whole paragraph, and you don't have much time to take the fucking test. But that's how I learned.
Okay.
So how I learned the Navy Dive Man, it was like 1,000 pages, Navy Dive Man. I got it a year in advance.
Oh my gosh.
And wrote the book out probably 14 times. Like the Boyle's Law, Child's Law, Gay-Lussac's Law, Dalton's Law, all these laws, but over and over, the whole manual. So it's not like, so now I've done it so many times, I can go back in my mind and say, okay, page 71 was Boyle's Law. And I remember writing it down so many times that it takes me to say, okay, I got it. And I can write it down almost verbatim so that's how I learned even to today. But the work ethic, people think I became this guy from running.
Yeah.
No, I became this guy from fucking studying. I had to study for hours. What might take you an hour to learn, take me 2 days. So that's where, at the table, and my best friend Johnny remembers me like, God, you just changed. Something happened. I got obsessed. So I take the test, I score high, I get in the Air Force.